it's great to have you here. My name is Daisy. In today's video, we will explore the various usage of the Japanese particle ni. We will also learn how to distinguish ni and de, so you can use them confidently in your sentences. And let's begin. One of the most common usage for the particle ni is to indicate a specific time, like a time of day, a day of the week, a month, or a year. It's kind of like the English word at. For example, 私は8時に起きます. I wake up at 8 o'clock. Here we use the particle ni with 8時, 8 o'clock, to specify the time. Another example is 茜さんは水曜日に銀行へ行きます. Akane goes to the bank on Wednesday. In this sentence, the particle ni is used with 水曜日 Wednesday to indicate the day. Pretty simple, right? But there is one thing to remember. We don't use the particle ni with words like today, kyo, tomorrow, ashita, or yesterday, kino. For instance, 昨日カリナさんは日本語を勉強しました. Karina studied Japanese yesterday. We simply say 昨日 without adding the particle ni after it. Besides telling us when something happens, the particle ni can also show where something or someone is. But here's the trick. We need two special verbs to do this. For people or animals, we use the verb imasu. For things, objects, we use the verb arimasu. For example, ロビーに自動販売機があります. There is a vending machine in the lobby. Since a vending machine is a thing, we use the verb あります. And because the vending machine is located in the lobby, we use the particle に for ロビー. Or 教室に学生がいます. There are students in the classroom. Because students are people, we have to use the verb います. And again, we use the particle に for the place, which is a classroom in this sentence. So, how is that? Let's move on to another common use of the particle ni. It's used to show who or what is receiving an action. We often use the particle ni with verbs like to give, agemasu, to receive, moraimasu, to send, okurimasu, to tell, iimasu, and to ask, kikimasu. Yamada-san wa shacho ni mailを送ります. Yamada sends an email to the company president. Here, the particle ni is used with shacho to show that the email is being sent to the company president. Another example, 私は青木さんにチョコレートをあげます. I give chocolate to Aoki. In this sentence, あげます to give is an action verb, and Aoki is the person receiving the chocolate. That's why we use the particle ni with Aoki. You guys are so great. Let's keep going. Next, we will explore another way to use the particle ni. It's often used to show a direction or destination. For example, 私は図書館に行きます. I go to the library. You can see it's similar to the particle e, so there are cases where both ni and e can be used, although they convey slightly different nuances. The particle ni can also be used to express the purpose of an action, especially when combined with verbs of motion such as ikimasu, to go, kimasu, to come, or kaerimasu, to return. For instance, 木村さんはイタリアへ歌を習いに行きます. Kimura goes to Italy to study singing. Here, 歌を習います is the purpose of Kimura's trip. Normally, we would just say 木村さんはイタリアへ行きます. Kimura goes to Italy. But adding 歌を習い and the particle ni give us more information about why Kimura goes to Italy. For verbs in the mass form, you remove the mass ending, add the particle ni, and place it before ikimasu to go, kimasu to come, or kaerimasu to return. If it is a noun, you can put it directly before the particle ni. One more example. 京都へ花見に行きます. I go to Kyoto to see the cherry blossoms. Here, hanami is a noun, meaning cherry blossom viewing, and directly follow the particle ni to indicate the purpose of the trip. Next up, we will discuss the sixth use of the particle ni, which is to indicate the frequency of an action. We use ni to express how often we do something within a certain period of time. For instance, 1週間に1回映画を見ます. I watch a movie once a week. 1日に2回この薬を飲みます. I take this medicine twice a day.
The particle ni is always preceded by a word indicating a period of time, such as 1日 one day, 1週間 one week, or 1ヶ月 one month. Another use of the particle ni is to indicate a state or the result of a change. It often used with verbs like なります to become and 変わります to change.
For example, Kimura-san wa bushou ni narimashita. Kimura became the department manager. Shingo ga aka ni kawarimasu. The traffic light turns red. You can see that the particle ni is used after the noun, indicating the state or the results of the change.
Let's move on to another common use of the particle ni. It indicates the location where a static action takes place.
Watashi wa Osaka ni sunde-imasu. I live in Osaka. Or, isu ni suwarimasu. I sit on the chair.
Besides verbs like sumimasu, to live, and suwarimasu, to sit, that express static state without continuous movement and occur in a fixed position. There are many other verbs that can be combined with the particle ni, such as tomarimasu, to stay, okimasu, to put, kakarimasu, to hand, and so on. Furthermore, the particle ni is used to indicate of movement from the outside to the inside, or from a larger space to a smaller one.
For instance, densha ni norimasu. I get on the train. Or, kisate ni haidimasu. I enter the coffee shop. As you can see, we are moving from the outside into a smaller space like a train or a coffee shop, so we use the particle ni.
The last use of the particle ni in this video is to express a decision or a choice. We often use the pattern now plus the particle ni plus shimasu to express this.
Matcha latte ni shimasu. I will have a matcha latte. Or, natsu yasumi roko wa nihon ni shimasu. I have decided to go to Japan for summer vacation. Yay! We have covered 10 ways to use the particle ni. I know there are still other ways. So if you know any, please feel free to leave a comment below and add to this list. Now let's talk about the difference between the particle de and ni. These two particles can be confusing to use because they both can mean in or at in English.
To tell them apart, just remember, use the particle ni when there is something at a certain place, and use the particle de when there is an action or event happening at a certain place. That's it!
For example, watashi no heya ni hon ga arimasu. There are books in my room. Here we use the particle ni because the books are in the room. Watashi wa heya de nihongo benkyou shimasu. I study Japanese in my room. Even though it's the same place, a room, but this time there is an action happening, studying Japanese. That's why we use the particle de instead of the particle ni. Do you find it simple? I hope after watching this video, the particle de and ni will not confuse you anymore. Thank you so much for watching until the end and see you in the next video.